Hey, welcome back to another episode of Open Cheddar, the last Wednesday of November. Tomorrow's December 1st, so that's crazy. I have a pleasure of welcoming Vivek on. He is a Toronto area photographer, and I just figured I'd get him on because his grid's really cool. A lot of, just tell him offline, like his grid's really moody, and I just like to kind of pick his brain on how he approaches his photography. So if you're watching from Vivek's side, try to do this show every Wednesday and get someone on and talk about whatever it is that they want to make. So if you make something, it doesn't have to be photo, it can be video, it could be painting, it can be whatever. But if you want to talk about it, love to have you on. Open Shutter YouTube on Instagram and subscribe to the channel to watch more of this because it's a lot of fun. So don't want to take too much of your time, Vivek. So thanks again for your time. And for the people that don't know who you are, maybe a quick intro about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Vivek. I am by day, I'm a UX designer working
Yeah.
in fintech. But my passion has always been photography and travel,
Yeah.
and just the mountains have always been somewhere I just normally tend to kind of go to over and over again. Just
Mm.
that peace of mind that you get out there that you don't get in the
Yeah.
city.
The calm, the peace, the
Yeah,
peacefulness, the mindfulness.
exactly. When you can hear yourself think in the morning, it's pretty epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were just saying offline that you go to Banff every year.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Like it's pretty sweet because like you go through like every season and like it's one place where you go back every single time, you'll always find something new or find a
Mm,
different like perspective or a feeling or just a moment that will grasp you.
yeah.
Um yeah, so it's just always a pleasure to get down there and just experience everything that Banff has to offer.
Yeah. So what's your favorite season there then?
I would say it's a hard balance between summer and winter,
Okay.
but I think from summer is very accessible to get to,
Right.
but it's that story when you get there in the winter, that trek
It
to get
is.
into the
Yeah.
mountains
Yeah. Yeah.
is like probably the most epic journey you'll go on.
Yeah.
Um,
100%, eh?
so definitely the winter, like the peaks, the caps, like everything looks like Narnia out there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah.
And you just got back from there.
Yeah, just got back from there a couple of weeks ago and
Yeah.
it was beautiful. Like we were at Lake Louise and the number of times I've been there, I've never seen the lake frozen.
Yeah. Okay.
So we walked the entire lake on ice
Oh,
all the
geez.
way around.
Really?
Didn't feel my legs after,
No.
but it was worth
Okay.
it.
There's some details.
Yeah,
Yeah. And you
yeah.
proposed.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Congratulations.
I know, appreciate it. I did propose. It was a whirlwind of a weekend, but I'm
Oh,
glad we got a chance to do it at one of our favorite places together.
okay.
So
So do you guys go up like every year together?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
So
Cool.
it was a
Nice,
good
man.
time.
Well,
It
it's
was a
good. It's
good
a good
time.
story.
Yeah,
It's a
it's a
good
good time.
story. Good story. So maybe you want to like maybe backtrack a little bit. Like, how did you get into photography in like the first place? Like, what like was there a certain like moment, or was it
Yeah.
just kind of like baby steps?
So I think photography for me is it was in my blood since I was like 2.
Yeah.
My dad always had like one of those old Minolta film cameras, and we still have it. And I used to just like sit there and just touch all the buttons and just, you
Nice.
know, didn't really take a photo per se, but you had that knack of like, what is this? And then
Mm,
when I started university, I was like, me and my buddy we just wanted to experience something, and just potentially
right.
even start up a business at the time. And we're
Right.
like, let's just test the waters with photography. It was just a whole new world between like cameras and
Yeah.
like raw versus JPEG. I had no idea coming into this, but it was really the capturing those memories and that story behind every photo
Yeah.
really drew us to it.
And this is during university.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And what? I'm just curious. Like, what school did you go to?
I went to Ryerson for
Oh, nice.
business. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. 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 So does your friend still do photography?
Yeah, we both actually we started a business. Like we had a legit wedding photography business
Oh,
for like
okay.
for a good portion of university and a little bit after.
Oh, nice.
So we thoroughly enjoyed everything. But again, event photography is completely different than you walking up
Yeah.
with your camera.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
It's a
we
beast, eh?
yeah, so we quickly learned that
Yeah.
weddings and stuff are not our cup of tea. I'm more
No.
happy doing like more couple shoots that are kind of controlled. Take
Right.
your time
Right.
and get
Right,
out there.
right, right.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Yeah, well, that's that's a good way to just dive right into wedding photography and see what happens, right? Like, oh,
right?
I
Yeah,
had no idea this is a part of the game, but apparently it
I
is.
know. You wear a lot of hats when you're doing it,
Yeah, you do. You do.
right?
Well, cool, man. Yeah, I think that's also the importance of like, especially when you're first starting out, is like just having like someone else around you, just for like moral support,
Yeah,
or just like motivation. Just to, like leave the house and do something because sometimes, especially when you live somewhere, when in Toronto's your home, you get kind of
yeah,
complacent about shooting because you live here.
yeah,
So it's always good to have like someone else to kind of like kick your butt and say, hey, let's go do it because
exactly.
now it's winter, it's cold out, so it's gonna get even harder to like do stuff. So I always tell people just have like a person that you can go out with because it just gives you them that extra oomph to do it because
It-
otherwise it's just you and something sometimes it's good to do it like on your own because it kind of like it's almost like therapy doing it on your own, but also at times you kind of want to have someone else to share the moment with too, right? So
no, for sure. I think
yeah,
you summed it up pretty well. It's just getting out there is the biggest thing because even if you take one photo when you're out there, at least you got out and kind of
at least you just did
explored.
it. Yeah, just for the practice, just for like the sheer discipline, right?
Yeah,
Like even like
exactly.
during COVID, like like at this like at the height of it when we actually couldn't do anything, like I was shooting fruit in my kitchen just to like keep the practice of picking up the camera, right? So
Yeah, I did a
sometimes
lot of indoor
yeah,
photography at that time.
yeah, right. So you need
Explored.
something
Yeah,
new or else it's like an
yeah,
athlete. You still have to train, like you still have to practice.
yeah.
you
We,
know?
me and my other buddy, who's also like another friend of mine, we actually started a Instagram account called Compass Spinner, and we
Okay.
were just strictly doing like product photography and stuff around the house.
Yeah.
And it was just that change in perspective of not shooting
Yeah.
buildings or nature, but like shooting like a poker chip. But how
Yeah.
do you shoot a poker
Challenging.
chip
Yeah.
in a different
It's
way?
not as easy as you think it is.
No, it's very difficult.
Not as easy as you think it is. When you wanna make it good, right? So it makes you think about, like, how to get the shot, like, the lighting and the angle and the
Exactly.
composition, like, where you're gonna place it and all this stuff, and I did the exact same thing. I did with a deck of cards and some Las Vegas poker chips and just had some fun with it, so,
Yeah. Yeah.
paying attention to, like, the light, where it hits at certain parts of the day and blah, 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 and at least it kinda gets you going, right? So, you know especially with, like, product photography, I find, like, I have some friends that are really good at it, and, they just do it because they love doing it, but some of their work, they could be in magazines, right? And, sometimes I say, like, just pretend you have the job, like, what are you going to
Yeah.
do? Like, if you're gonna
Exactly.
shoot something for Coke, just pretend you have a client as
Yeah.
Coke, so what are you gonna do for them? It's a good way to practice with, like, no pressure on you.
Yeah, and exactly. And like someone's bound to see it online. And who
Yeah,
knows?
power of
Because
social media, like, you never really know,
you never
right?
really know
Like
who's on your grid. And on top of
yeah.
it, it's like that content that you're shooting now is just a catalog of items that a year, 2 years from now, that gig may appear, but then
Yeah.
that client may see all of that, all of the work that you've already done. So
Yeah, and just don't dismiss it as, like, your portfolio too, right? So when
yeah,
you're trying to get work, you can just show them, whatever you did at home just for fun, like, use it as a portfolio of work because I don't know, for me, it's like whenever you're trying to get work in this kinda, like, industry, it's like they don't care where you went to school, like, what do you do? Like, show me
yeah,
what you do.
yeah,
Who are you?
yeah. Like I
So,
work in the creative industry and
yeah,
you can be working at XYZ company, but if your portfolio, like at least as a
like,
designer,
show versus
show me your
100%,
work.
yeah, show versus tell, like
Yeah,
who are you? What do you do? Boom, Instagram,
yeah,
website, whatever it is. Like, oh, I get it. I get it. Now you do wedding, you do product. Okay, okay.
yeah,
I don't. There's just so much more power to that, and that comes from like doing it at home, right? Because you're taking the initiative. I think a lot of people value people taking the initiative
yeah,
because you're not
definitely.
just like waiting for a call. That's not going to happen because why would anyone call? They don't even know who we
Yeah.
are. What is it like? So I don't know. That's what I did. That's what I've done in the past, and it's worked. And again, man, people hire people because they like you, they trust you, they like your work. It's like it's a people thing, right? So whenever you can
Yeah.
get that across, then like you're golden.
Yeah. Like something I learned very quickly was that you can't really compare yourself,
No,
especially when you're learning the craft. You can't
yeah.
compare
There's
yourself. You
always gonna be
can't,
someone better, man. Always,
right?
always.
And you just have to trust the process of
Yeah, but
you,
yeah, 100%. I like how you use the word process. Yeah,
right? Because like when I started, I didn't know the difference between a JPEG and a RAW.
right.
Like like you don't really know before when you're just blindly
You
getting
don't know.
into
You don't
it,
know what you don't know. Yeah,
right? And then you slowly kind of understand when you figured out lighting, or when you figured out Lightroom, for sorry, you're like,
yeah,
okay, I do need to shoot RAW now because I don't have the opportunity to adjust
right.
things. So over time, you build this little toolkit and the learnings you gain from everything, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
It's practice. It's process. It's
yeah,
discipline, and
yeah,
just like constant like learning and stuff. And we are just saying offline about it, like you should always do it for yourself first, right?
yes,
Because if you don't, I mean, it's I don't know. From my personal experience, typically doesn't go very well. So as long as you're doing it for you and you like what you're doing, then it's all that really matters, right? So I think there's a lot of I think people always see like the hero shots on social. They see like the Peter McKinnons and all that, which is fine, but they've also been doing it for like 10, 15 years, right?
that's
So
what I mean.
people just expect things to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen that way.
No, because like
And
what these Toronto creators do that have kind of made it big,
yeah,
it, like you said, it doesn't happen overnight. These guys have been in the space and
yeah,
like for over 10 years and like
yeah,
worked their butt off regardless what the
yeah,
outcome was going to be,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's just that passion. You need that passion and drive.
You do, you do. I think you also need like reasonable expectations too. Like
Yeah.
there's always like that, that analogy of like reality versus expectations. Like just for me, like I'm always like just be honest with yourself, Paul, and like be honest with like where you're at, what your skill levels are, all that stuff,
Yeah.
because it's easy for us to have like inflated egos because I do it all the time, but I always have to check myself, say, no, slow down. Like you're not that bad, but you're not that good. Like you're kind of in the middle, right? So that's you know what I mean for me, like because it's always because like for us people making stuff, like the reason why not everyone cares as much as we do is because the other people aren't tied emotionally to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
true.
like they don't have the emotion to what we
Yeah.
do. Like, if I put out a piece of content and I love it, and people don't see it, obviously I'm not going to feel very good. But that's because they have no connection to it. Like, it's like I
Yeah.
don't. Okay,
Yeah.
cool, but I don't get it.
Yeah. It's
You
a
know?
everything that you deliver online, there's certain audiences that are going to appreciate it, and there's going to be other audience that are just going to blankly continue
Yeah, they don't
scrolling,
understand. Dude, it
right?
happens to me all the time. All the time. Again, that comes with like reality versus expectations
Yeah.
because they don't know who Paul is. They don't know how many hours it took me to make whatever it is I'm making. So I think I always caution people with that is like that's why I always say make it for yourself first because other people have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
It took you 12 hours to make this video. They have no idea. And they also don't care either.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay,
No.
no one told you to do this.
No. 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 Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
That's so true. Um, but I still strongly believe every photo is more about the story and the journey that it took to get there
yeah,
than the
it
actual
is.
photo,
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Because
100%.
I'll tell you a quick story, but last year we obviously went to Banff, we went to Moraine Lake,
Yeah,
we wanted to get sunrise, right?
yeah,
We left our hotel at 3:45 in the morning
yeah.
to get there because the parking lot gets full by 5
Mhm.
a.m., right?
Yeah.
Get there, it's pitch black, like you have no idea what's going on, but you get when that sun starts to peek over the mountains, you get to see it
Yeah, exactly.
appear. So it's like there's so much more to it than
Yeah,
just going there. Oh, I clicked the photo like half of the billion people that were there.
yeah.
and I went home.
And you went home just for that one shot.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people do, but they don't take it in and soak in like what just happened, right?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're probably
Did you
never gonna live through this again with the
Yeah,
same people.
yeah. Did you like the shot that you took?
Uh, I think it was very difficult. Like I won't lie, it was a very
Yeah.
challenging day.
Mm,
Um, but from what I remember, I think I enjoyed
did
every
you like
moment
it?
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. Um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is a good time to show your IG real quick. If you're open to that, I can do that for you.
Yeah, sure.
And then we can run through a couple of photos if you like. Um, what do we got? Oh yes, oh yes. Should have you up there.
Yep.
Cool, cool. So Vivek's 91. Make
Yeah.
sure you go follow him, obviously.
So just
Yeah, yeah. Again, this is the
yeah, this
oh,
is the
so
photo.
good. Oh, that's cool, man. Congrats anyway.
No, I
Yeah, it's
appreciate
pretty
it.
cool.
Um, yeah, again, this photo was obviously taken by a great Calgary photographer.
Okay,
Um, she did an amazing job. Her name is Ali. I just can't remember her Instagram,
okay.
top of my head, but just completely sold on what
Yeah.
she captured here.
Wow.
Yeah,
I like it. It's all about moments, right?
yeah,
And that's a
yeah,
moment. That's a moment that'll never happen again. So
exactly,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, like I know you mentioned like wedding photography for me, yeah, you get all like all the standard shots, but for me, I guess maybe like event photography in general is like it's all about moments, like
Yeah,
just moments that
yeah,
just like candid moments
yeah.
and just I don't know, it makes it so much more interesting, I think.
Oh, for sure, for
You
sure.
know? If you're shooting like a concert, you get some like backstage stuff. I don't know. It's more
Yeah,
of like a fuller picture, you know?
yeah. Like that photo of me drinking Tim's. It's literally I
Yeah.
was just walking back, and my friend just took this photo. It
Ah,
wasn't intentional
yeah,
or
exactly.
anything. It was just captured,
Yeah.
right? And it was again, it was morning. It was dead silence, but
Mm.
it's kind of that story that you share with your group of buddies that you were there with,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, that's what I mean. Candid stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, try to keep it as candid as you can, but sometimes,
Mhm.
you get hung up in like, this kind of looks good if I stood here and then you captured my photo, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Oh, shout out Tim's. Did you tag them on this one?
I have no idea.
Should tagged them.
I have no
Um,
idea.
yeah, like how do you like? So I guess you use Lightroom usually to edit.
Yeah, Lightroom is the process for a
Yeah,
lot. So for example, the photo right beside the Tim's cup,
this one.
um, this was actually shot on my phone.
Shout out iPhone or what do you use?
I use an Android. I use a Pixel 5.
Nice.
So completely shot and edited on my phone. So it just goes to show like you can still capture raw moments with
Of course.
what you have in your hand. It's never a
Yeah.
$4,000 camera.
No. And like most times, like candid moments happen when you don't have a camera,
Yeah, exactly.
like a DSLR mirrorless. But you got your phone, so at
Yeah,
least you can use it. But
yeah,
so like
exactly.
how do you make your photos so moody, man? Like you like what do you how do you do it?
So it's a
Curious.
mixture of a little bit of presets that you have,
Yeah.
and then every picture gets kind of tweaked to
Mhm,
your liking.
mhm.
I'm big on deep greens, right?
Yeah.
And kind of pulling out the texture on pictures. So
Yeah.
kind of like you can see in the mountains, like I pulled out that texture in the sky and the
Yeah.
mountains, but the foreground is very soft because you really want to highlight the reflection here,
Right.
right?
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's
And
a lot
you
of sorry.
and you buy presets or you make your own presets? Like what do you
I did earlier on.
yeah.
Did buy some Peter McKinnon presets just
Yeah.
because to help like just start my process, but I still use a couple, but I've never used it as like I just slap it on and I hit send.
Yeah.
It's
a
never
base.
that. It's
The
just the
base.
start of that base, and
Yeah.
then it slowly evolves into something bigger.
Mm.
And it takes time. Like again, I did this on an airplane ride coming back.
Right.
Um, but it does take time because you look at it one day, you come back the next year, like, oh, I could probably not really happy with this yet.
No. Yeah, you need some time. You need some time for it to breathe, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Mm. Cool, man. Well, I mean, it's working out for you, obviously. It's a dope pick. It's a dope location.
Yeah. It's
Like,
it's it's super rare to get like really still water
yeah,
by here. So
that's the key. You need still water for
yeah,
this.
you definitely
It's
do.
basically a scene from Inception. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I was even debating it. I was like, should I just reverse this image completely and flip it upside down and see what people
oh,
think?
that would be,
Right?
yeah.
Um,
And which way's up?
which way's up, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
which way's up?
So there's a lot of different ways you can play around with what you see online,
Right, right.
right?
Yeah, yeah. It takes some time to kind of get your own look, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like it's yeah, I can see how you mentioned the dark greens and stuff. I
Yeah.
like this one a lot, actually.
Yeah. This was that morning. Um, when we went to the lake and just had a just grabbed a shot. You know,
Mhm.
my buddy took it. The hardest part about this edit was to kind of keep both parties um, kind of lit because
Right,
the peaks were definitely brighter than I was.
right, right, right.
Um, but then I think this was taken on a phone too, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
Um, but just slowly massaging it, tweaking it, um, and it kind of shows up. But really, like when I see this picture, it's like I said, it's that story. It's not the picture for me.
yeah.
It's like brings back a lot of memories of what happened that
So
day.
what are you thinking about here?
What am I thinking about here?
What
I'm
is that
actually
just
looking at someone canoeing out in the distance.
right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
yeah,
the white
and
canoe, right?
yeah, and then there was also some people below us that
Ah.
were about to throw rocks into this, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
why are you doing such things? Or like a log, I guess.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, but definitely the deep greens. Try to pull out and like play a lot with highlights to kind of
Yeah,
showcase the natural shadows where you can.
right.
Um, but it's
And do
just
you do you, do you use masking
yeah,
to
use a lot
mask
of
them?
like
Okay.
a lot of masking. I try to like take out anything I don't want either.
That's
Little
key. It's
distractions.
key. It's key.
Yeah,
It takes photos to a new level when you get rid of stuff.
yeah, yeah, it definitely does. But it takes time.
Yeah,
But no, this was like, yeah, again, it's that memory, right? You hold pretty
yeah,
deeply with that core group of people that you've gone with.
yeah. Documenting, right? It's all about
Yeah,
like
it's a good way to put
documenting
it.
your time with your friends, right?
Yeah, it's a really good way to put it.
I think everyone should try to. I mean, it doesn't have to be photo; it could be whatever way you document. But I mean,
Yeah,
especially after COVID, like I mean, you never know. Well, like because you look back on stuff, like, 10 years from now, like oh yeah, I did that, or I met that person, or whatever. Because you know how you get those Facebook things, you did this something 10 years ago, whatever. It's like oh yeah, I totally forgot about that.
yeah,
And it's cool to look back on because I don't know, just a moment in your life that
yeah,
that will never happen again. But um, and
yeah. I
that's what,
think.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, sorry. Yep.
No, I was just gonna say it's like I don't know if iPhones do this or
Mm.
iPhotos, but at least with Google Photos, they kind of give you that memory lookup
Yeah, yeah,
once a week.
exactly.
Like
Yeah,
10,
yeah.
like 5 years ago, you were doing this,
That's what
and
I
I'm
mean,
like,
right? Because
it's
we forget.
yeah, and
We
it's pretty
forget.
cool.
It happens to me all the time. Like, oh yeah, I totally forgot I went on that thing. It's like, and it just
Yeah,
brings back those memories. So I don't know.
yeah,
People should try to do more of it because
yeah.
I mean, tomorrow's already December 1st. It's like, where the hell did this year go?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
what
it
what
is.
happened? Like,
Wow,
what did I do this year? Let me try to
wow.
remember. It's like I don't remember anything.
Yeah, wow. That's nuts. It's already
You
December
know,
1st.
and it's for you, right? It's not for anyone else. It's just like you're just
No,
you don't have to post it anymore. It's for you to like look back on. So
no, that's very true.
I don't know.
That's
It's
very
it's a small
true.
thing, but it's a big thing, right? Like
Yeah.
I read Matthew McConaughey's Green Lights book. It's a pretty cool book, but he's also a pretty deep guy. But he kind of goes on about this kind of stuff, and um, I don't know. 20 years from now, you look back on it, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's pretty sweet
Yeah, yeah, for sure, man.
what you can capture.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like again, this was like prime
Nikon.
time COVID, you know?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you just gotta like think of stuff.
You just
Think of
gotta
something.
just get out there, right? And like
Yeah,
I love the fall photos I've taken in the city, really.
yeah, man.
Um,
I dig it. So instead of the greens, now you're using the orange.
using it, pulling out the orange, right?
Yeah,
So you try your best.
I like this shot a lot. Where did you shoot this from?
So it's in my neighborhood.
Yeah,
So I live in like the Don Mills area.
yeah,
It's by Span Bridge. So this is a DVP coming
yeah.
in to the
Hmm.
city.
Hmm.
And I wouldn't say it gets this orange, but it gets pretty colorful. Um, and I just, again, I wanted some fall content, so I just started walking around my neighborhood just to capture some stuff,
Right, right, right.
right? Yeah.
Cool, man. Oh, it works.
Yeah. And like, story behind it's like, you don't know what's around that corner. That's the
Yeah.
suspense, right? Like,
It's a
if you live
life.
in the city, yeah, you can figure it's downtown, but
Yeah. It's a life analogy. You don't know what's around the corner.
yeah.
Got it. Got it. Got it. I like it. That's cool, man. Um, well placed Sunstar here.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
perfect timing. I was riding my bike, stopped. I'm like, oh, there's a cyclist coming by. Pulled out my camera, my phone, just
that's what I
post,
mean. It always happens when you don't have your camera on you.
and
You're like,
then
oh, I gotta get this though.
yeah, just put it into Lightroom, and you just hope for the
There you go.
best,
There you have it. Yeah, yeah.
right?
It's all about paying attention, man. Especially like doing some street stuff. You just gotta always just
Yeah,
pay attention and
yeah,
try to like anticipate the moment.
yeah. There's a
Anticipate
lot.
it. You
There's a
know?
lot of that. There's a
Yeah.
lot.
Like you just need to just and that's what the good thing about it is because like when you do that, it makes you focus, it makes you be in the moment.
Yeah,
So it just makes you
yeah.
very mindful of like what you're doing, which in turn, like, is it's therapy. It takes your mind off other stuff. So,
Oh, definitely.
you
Like
know what I mean?
even like the boat pictures that are up here are like in Algonquin, and
Yeah.
um it's probably like 7 a.m.,
Mm.
but it's quiet. Water's just, there's a haze
Yeah.
going on, but
Yeah.
you just kind of sit there and just take it in.
Yeah. It's almost like the first ride of the day.
Yeah.
Like the canoe is just waiting for someone
Yeah.
to get out.
Yeah.
You can almost
Yeah.
like feel the calmness.
Yeah.
Just looking at the
It's,
photos, like, oh yeah, oh yeah,
yeah.
take me there.
Yeah. Don't worry. Summer's around the corner,
Yeah, yeah, I'll be here. I'll be here before you know it. I'm
right?
down. Shout out. Okay, you got the Canadian flag there. Shout out. Yeah, see architecture. I know. This is what I love about art. It's like always look up, right?
Yeah. You
Always,
always,
always, always, always look
always
up.
have
Yeah,
to look up to a degree.
yeah,
Um,
and especially in the financial district because, like, for me, it's like, how are you gonna shoot it different, right? Like, what are you gonna do to
yeah.
shoot it different? And like, just like looking up and like to me,
Yeah.
like getting architecture, I try to get like details of the building. Like, I don't get
Yeah.
the entire building. I just get like a window or like something like just very like detailed, just to make it different because
Yeah.
it's hard to shoot it different, man. The financial district, it's difficult.
It's really difficult. Like I think there's
Yeah,
a picture on my grid. I think we may have passed it,
yeah,
but
it goes up here, right?
yeah, I think
This
it
one.
was, yeah, that was coincidence.
Mm,
I just looked up and I'm like, oh wow, this is very symmetrical. Okay,
yeah,
click. And
yeah,
then let's see what happens, right? And I just posted it. Didn't know
yeah,
when that was gonna happen. I just like, okay, let me just put
yeah.
this up.
But it's also a good edit too, the way that you edit it, because you brought out is the sun setting,
I think it's rising.
rising,
Yeah.
so
Or
you
no,
kind of
I don't know. It's one of the two.
emphasize the sun there on the building.
Yeah, and I was like, my big thing was like I wanted to play with the reflections of the other building
Yeah, yeah,
into to this one, but
Yeah,
this one took a while because I was like really confused on like do I kind of make it very symmetrical, like
right,
side by side, or do I put on an angle?
right.
But obviously, we figured out who the winner was.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, this is what I do all the time. Like for like this building here, I go like the bottom right, and I just
Yeah,
like put my camera like right on like that panel there, and
yeah,
look right up to the sky, and you just kind of
yeah,
get this like tunnel vision, like right to the sky. So just
yeah.
different ways to do it.
No, for sure. That's the thing is everyone has a different eye
Yeah,
on how they're gonna, you know, see an image. So it's always great to kind of see everyone's perspective on how they would take one
of
shot.
course. Yeah, and that's how we all learn too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Exactly.
um, yeah, cool, man. Winter
Yeah.
stuff,
Winter stuff. This was up in
fun,
like Guelph,
up in Guelph, yeah.
Waterloo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wanted some just, having fun. We got lost kind of thing. So,
Nice.
and it turned out to be pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I dig it. I dig it.
You just, I don't know, you just have a good time doing stuff.
Yeah, I just kinda, like, play around. I
Right.
just kinda, like, use where you are as a playground and just see what
Exactly.
comes because sometimes you can't force something to happen, you just kind of have to, like, let it unfold, right?
Yeah. Yeah. There's
You know?
some days where you're just like, I don't even know what to shoot.
Well, that's what I mean, like, what are you gonna do, right? You just gotta let
Right.
it unfold a little bit, you gotta, like, let it
Yeah.
breathe a little bit.
Exactly.
Mhm. Well, you
Exactly.
can't have this view anymore, so
Nope.
this should
Unfortunately
be,
not. This is like
I don't know who approved it, but who approved the building going up, but man, someone should
I
be
have
proud.
yeah, I think I was like I went for like I work downtown, so I was like, let me just stop by and let me look
Yeah,
around. And I'm like, what is this?
I
Where
know,
did this
brutal.
appear from? Right?
Yeah, brutal, man. Absolutely brutal.
Very iconic moment for Toronto.
You know, it's just like whoever approved it, like, geez.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think this gets into like the year before fall stuff. That coffee photo took a while to get.
I bet.
We burnt a lot of hands in the
I
process.
bet. And a lot of coffee was wasted too.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
bueno. No bueno, man.
yeah. I know, but
You got it though.
it took about 3 attempts.
So was your friend just pouring it over you? Like
Yep.
what?
So it was literally like this, and we were just like rapid firing,
Ah, yeah.
and something happened,
Yeah, you got it.
right?
Well, gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, right? For the shot.
Yeah.
So we're using a drone here?
No,
No drone? How'd you
no
get this?
drone. There's a bridge by Castle Frank Station.
Hmm.
That looks over the Riverdale or Rosedale kind of path that comes up into downtown.
Right, right.
Um, so I saw this spot one day, and I'm like, I want to come back here in the fall because like the leading lines were great.
Right.
Um, yeah. So again, played
Worked
up on
out.
the orange, but yeah,
Yep. Worked out.
yeah,
I did that. Okay, I've never been on that bridge, but I'll have to mark it for next year.
yeah. It's definitely pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've been on this bridge
I think everyone's been on this bridge.
many times. Been here many times.
Yeah,
Do you know that where the hole in the fence is?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
whoever did that's a genius.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely a cool spot. But like for me, it's like yeah, you get inspired by other people's photos
Yeah.
to to shoot, but like you always want your own twist on that same shot.
You 100%. 100%. Totally. Well, that's neat. That's creative. I like that.
Yeah, again, just out in
Just
Guelph,
just jumping around.
jumping around straight lines,
Yeah.
like it's just
Yeah. It's cool. I dig it.
doesn't have to be nature, but it can still be very creative at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, it can be yeah, it can be simple as that too, right? So it doesn't have to be like a crazy
Yeah,
operation you're running.
yeah,
But cool, man. So like, where do you what's your plan for December? Like, you have a plan for December for like shooting?
Uh, Not at the moment, really. I'm waiting for a little bit more snow to kind of hit Toronto
Right.
because I go out like every other day, I guess. Like working from home doesn't make it easy
Yeah.
to be really motivated after 5 p.m. to get out because
Yep.
it's like pitch black.
Yep.
Um, but I know Christmas decorations have gone up in the city, so that's kind of
Yeah.
exciting.
Distillery district.
Yeah. Well, not even distillery. Like there's what's the building called? I think it's called no, is it BCE place?
Yeah.
BCE place, something like that. Where
Yeah.
they kind of like the hanging lights on top.
Yeah.
Um, so just to kind of walk around the city, see all the Christmas stuff
Yeah.
again.
Eden
Um,
Center.
yeah, unfortunately there's no tree this
Yeah, there's
year,
no tree this year, which
but they
is
put like
weird.
fake snow, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's
it's
weird.
kind of
Kind of
weird.
weird.
I'm like, I can walk out and get the real thing,
Yeah. Okay,
right?
City Hall.
Yeah, City Hall is
All your
gonna be
nice stuff.
yeah, City Hall would be cool. Um, yeah, just I'm waiting for snow because snow adds that extra additional
Yeah, you need
element.
it. You need it. Yeah.
Like right now, it just everything just looks really
Just barren. It's a barren wasteland.
gray. Exactly.
It's not Banff.
No, 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 it's not
The
nature at
opposite of
all.
Banff.
Yes, the
Or the opposite of
opposite.
Banff. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, I'm looking forward to like snow for photos, but not snow to like per se stay for too long.
Yeah, I know. I got for Christmas is it's done. I'm done with it. Yeah, yeah. I
Right?
agree. Yeah, I know. I agree. It's for like photos. Yeah, you do need it.
Yeah.
Try to get that Christmas spirit in there somehow, or that holiday,
Somehow,
that
just
holiday spirit somehow. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, you get a little creative with it. You try as much as you
yeah.
can.
Yeah.
Want to do some more long exposures this time
Okay.
around.
Whereabouts?
So you know the intersection, like where Old City Hall is, where the clock
Yeah,
tower is,
yeah,
like facing the clock tower, that's where I would want to try to capture something.
yeah.
But
There's also a church across the street.
sorry?
There's a church across on the other side of the street.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
I've done long exposures in front of that.
From there too?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's because the church is pretty cool. So
Yeah.
recommend
So
that.
there's stuff like that, just to kind of like try new things because I know I'll get the like the traditional stuff I will normally get.
Mm.
But
You
how do
always try to
you
like put like kind of like challenge yourself from like
yeah.
last year too, right?
Yeah, that's like you're in it with yourself too. Like how do you up yourself from last
Yeah,
year?
like how do you? I know, right? Like it's tough. That's what I mean. Like when I said like when I tell myself, oh, like you got to check yourself, Paul, because like just see like be honest with where you're at because like how do you make your photos last year better, right? So like I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like you always need to have like it's tough to have like non-biased feedback. Like it's difficult because like who are you gonna ask? Like your friends, your family?
They're
what
just
are they
gonna
gonna
be
say,
really
right?
happy with it, right?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's like how do I get better? And
Like
sometimes for
yeah.
me, I have to get out of my own head sometimes because um we're all human, so we all it's, oh this is good, but how can it be better? Like it's tough to make
It's
something you think is good better. It's weird.
yeah.
You
Like
know.
it's hard to think outside the box at
Yeah, that's what I
times,
mean. Yeah, exactly.
right?
Like, gotta get creative somehow. Like, I don't know, use like a lens ball one time or something, right?
Oh yeah, we did try that. That was
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I mean, it's a little bit different.
That's pretty cool. It was our first time using it, so we really didn't have any idea what we were doing,
Yeah,
but
fun toy.
it was really fun to play with.
Yeah, it just makes it a little bit more unique, right? Or use
Yeah,
like puddles or like reflections or like reflections off windows or I don't know, use
yeah,
someone's phone and shoot the photo through someone's phone. I don't know, just stuff like that. I don't know.
yeah.
Um,
But yeah, but like honestly, sometimes like the city just gets boring to shoot in.
that's what I mean because we live
Like
here.
we live here.
If
Like
we
it just
travel somewhere else to a different
like
country, be, oh my god, this is amazing.
yeah.
Like,
Like I just want to shoot
people that
everything,
visit
right?
Toronto that don't live here, that's amazing. I'm like, yeah,
Right?
because we live here.
But I think with that in mind, like even heading over to Niagara Falls when the falls are
Yeah,
frozen is
yeah,
another different feel completely,
totally, totally. Yeah,
right?
that's a fun road trip.
Yeah, it's not too far.
Even like going out in the country and get like random farms in like the middle of like snow. You get like a
Yeah,
red barn in like the middle of like a snow bank or whatever. You get the contrast between the white and the red.
yeah,
Look for like colors like that.
yeah. No,
A
definitely.
little bit of little bit of research before, to know where like to know where all this stuff is. But
Yeah, but it pays off because you're kind of going
yeah,
with some sort of intentions,
yeah, exactly.
just
Because it makes it more
wandering.
like a mission.
Yeah,
Makes it more of an assignment.
right. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. It's pretty
yeah,
cool. Like I've noticed, like obviously my editing style has changed over the course of the years I've been doing it,
yeah.
but it's a good thing because it just means like
You gotta change.
as a photographer you're evolving, right?
Have to,
Yeah,
have to.
because
'Cause if you're not,
yeah, like I look at my first street photo stuff I've ever taken, I just am like,
yeah,
what am I doing? Like we thought
yeah,
saturation was cool,
yeah.
right?
I love looking at my old stuff. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
But still,
yeah,
that's it's what it took to get you here, and
yeah,
from here, it's gonna take to get to like wherever it is that you want to go, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah,
I know that's what I mean by like document, because then you can look back at your old stuff and say, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
exactly.
So,
I didn't even start on Lightroom. I started on like Pixar or something like that.
how
It
did
was,
you? Yeah,
yeah, because that's,
yeah,
and I'm like, wow,
I know, right?
it's completely changed.
Yeah, yeah.
The amount of like, just the amount of technology that can help you to achieve what you want to achieve
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, I
has
know. I think in 10 years,
drastically,
you won't even need to take the photo. I think the program will just make the photo.
yeah. Well, there's Dolly, right? So,
Yeah,
like, there's all of that that just kind of has interpretation of something. But again, Lightroom, Photoshop have been so powerful with what they've been doing
no, it's crazy,
as
man. Especially like the new Lightroom with the new mask and stuff. It's pretty powerful.
yeah, clearly I haven't updated my Lightroom in a while.
Update it, update
Yeah,
it. Yeah, yeah. It's crazy.
yeah. I heard it's like a blend of Photoshop and
Yeah, like it's getting on par with Photoshop now. Not quite, but it's getting there.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you do find it annoying when you have to export or like open in
Yeah.
Photoshop and then do your
Well,
thing, but
yeah,
the process.
it's getting a little bit better.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely update it, man. There's some pretty cool features in there.
No, I'll take a
Just like
look.
just click two buttons and like boop, your sky's gone. Okay, great. So now you have a new sky or whatever it is, right? But
Yeah. I
uh,
remember like masking out subjects was a huge pain in the butt.
it's a lot easier now.
And now it's like
One click.
subject, boom.
It's one
Okay.
click. That's what I mean. Like they should also be careful because, like, I mean, for Adobe, because people are paying for Photoshop and Lightroom, then
Yeah.
if all you're using Photoshop for is the masking stuff, then why am I paying Photoshop? Just use Lightroom. So for Adobe's sake,
Sake.
be
Yeah.
careful, because why would people spend on two platforms if all they're using is masking? But I'm not
That's
complaining. Give Adobe like like $1 million a month, so
like, yeah, I'm not complaining at all.
you know what I mean? It is what it is. Like, where do you want? Like, do you have any like future goals? Like, do you want to like what do you want to do with all this stuff, or you just
Like,
want to do it for yourself?
honestly, if gigs come my way, they come my way,
Yeah,
right? Um, I'm also a very passionate designer
yeah,
for like my 9 to 5.
yeah.
So I'm
So can you
very,
use your creativity there too?
yeah.
Okay. Do they need photos?
Uh, no, they've never asked me,
No.
right?
Yeah.
Like, I love technology. I love like creating customer experiences. So
Well,
like it's still there, but for photography, if it comes, it comes. I just want to just because one thing we learned when we were doing weddings, it felt like work.
of course, if it's always work.
It felt like work,
Yeah.
and it didn't really feel like it was a hobby anymore.
No, because it's
And
no longer for yourself,
yeah,
for someone else.
so when that line got drawn, and I'm like, I'm not really interested in anymore in
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. That's
I
good. It's good that you know that.
just want to do it for myself and not
Yeah,
really for the sake of
right.
money and losing every single weekend in the summer.
That's a good point. Well, it's good that
Right.
you know that, because I think a lot of people think the grass is always greener, but once you turn your thing into something that makes money, it's no longer about you. It's about the client.
Yeah,
So they don't care what you want. It's like, I want to do this, or I want to, oh.
exactly.
True though, like that's like you need to do what the client wants, and if you don't want to do it, or there's like a difference of opinion, then it doesn't really matter because they're paying you to do the work.
Yep.
Yeah, it could be tricky sometimes because sometimes people don't know what they're getting themselves into until you're into it, and it's like, oh, this is not what I signed up for.
Yeah. Yeah. You think it's all
You know,
fun and games,
it's not. It's still work. Like it's still
but
work. Like
when you when you finish an event at like 1 a.m.,
yeah,
come
you've been
home,
streaming for 13 hours.
you're backing up for another hour and a half or whatever
Yeah,
it is.
yeah,
And
yeah. No,
yeah,
it's interesting because people always say, "Oh, you'll never work a day in your life when you do when you're passionate your job," but I don't really agree with that because it's still work.
yeah,
You're still working.
yeah, but you just when it becomes your passion, it doesn't seem like work because you're just thoroughly enjoying the
Yeah,
process of getting
yeah,
through it.
yeah. To me, it's like passion is like it's for you. It's not for anybody else.
Yeah,
But like when you're working, when it's for someone else, then like it's for that other person. Like again, like there's no like that person has emotion tied to it, and maybe you don't have emotion tied to the project. So for example, a wedding, you don't really have any emotion tied to the wedding. You're just there photographing. But for the couple, obviously they are emotionally tied to it because it's their day,
it's their day.
and
Yeah,
you're like, and you have all these sets of like the deliverables and all that, and maybe you don't want to do some of them, but it doesn't really matter because they want,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So it's like okay,
Next day edits aren't fun,
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Next day edits, is
right?
that a problem? Well, yeah. um, but yeah, I think that's what I've learned over the last few years. Like once it's no longer about you, like just be aware that it's going to become a little bit of work, a little bit of a grind. You
Yeah,
got to be willing to do it.
no, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
So even about like the story stuff, I mean, there's so much action in Toronto. Like you can make like photo essays, kind of like this Humans of New York and like
Yeah,
IG and stuff like that,
yeah.
which I think is totally cool, totally interesting.
There's, but I think like Instagram has evolved and we're not adapt like people that know social media really well are adapting it,
Yeah.
but it's a lot powerful than we think. It's just not the photo. There's a
No.
lot more,
Yeah. Yeah. It's also
right?
about like, yeah, it's about the people in it, and it's also about the photographer too, because I think like where IG used to be good at is like you're able to connect with a lot more people, right?
Yeah,
You're able to
yeah,
like actually talk to people and not just like click a like or whatever. And that's just the power of social media in general, is to be able to connect people
yeah.
via 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 DM or whatever it is. And I don't know. I think some people don't take advantage of that. Sometimes they just want to go for the like or go for the follow, whatever it is. But
Yeah,
there's more power in like talking to someone, especially when someone lives where you live, because
yeah,
then you can meet with that person too and like them,
exactly,
right?
exactly, exactly.
But
No, it's pretty cool. Like it's a small knit community, right?
yeah, and then
Right?
you'd be surprised. Like nine times out of ten, people will probably say, "Yeah, I'll meet up, go for a shoot or whatever it is,
Yeah,
have some fun."
yeah. Yeah.
A lot more
No,
value. There's a lot more like value in that than just clicking a like and just kind of moving on with your day. I don't know. I don't know. It's like I don't know. To me, like I'm so bored of social media. Like I don't even like I saw some like I haven't gone on like I don't know. I went like 2 weeks without going on Instagram because I was just so bored. Like I don't really care.
yeah,
Like I don't care, and that's not good, right? Because I'm not getting any value. Like I'm not getting any like substance out of it. It's just like
yeah.
scrolling. So
Yeah, it is like again, it's just behavior now. You're so used to the scroll.
yeah, like the scroll, which I don't know. I'm trying to be like really hyper aware of like how much time I'm spending on it because like I'm not getting any value, right? Like I need to like work on my own skills, but
Yeah, yeah,
without kind of like procrastinating. But we've been somehow ingrained in like the scrolling, I don't know, abyss, whatever you want to call it. I was just saying last week to like another guest, like it's just so hard to grab someone's attention now. Like it's difficult to grab
no,
someone's attention.
yeah. You have less than a
Difficult.
second.
Like, what do you do? Like, what do you
Yeah,
do? I don't know.
yeah. You're in the
Well,
millisecond game now because
yeah, it's tough. Like, I don't know, man. But it's You know, like, but again, that comes back to doing it for yourself. So if no one
Yeah,
likes it, whatever. I like the photo. That's all that really matters. But
that's it.
and it's
Like,
not gonna get any better. It's gonna get worse, I think.
yeah, oh, it's gonna get way worse.
Like
But I
it's
think you said it pretty nicely too. It's like it's just a document of
for
your
you,
for you. That's
for
it.
you. Yeah, no
That's
one
it.
else. Just for you. That's it.
Right?
And maybe with your family down the road. You say, hey,
Yeah.
document. I want to know what you did like 15 years ago. Oh,
You just pull
I
up
got
your
this idea
IG.
account.
Yeah.
Let's go to the start or whatever it is.
Right. It's
Um,
it's it's cool to look back.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I think so. But I get kicks out of like just like random things I've done because I
I
totally
know,
forget
me
about
too.
them. So totally forget about them. Maybe just want to close it. Like, do you have any like advice for people that are just starting out in photography? Like tips, tricks, stuff that
I would say just trust the process
okay.
and kind of learning the craft. You're never gonna like pick it up overnight.
No.
Yeah, you can see the Maddies and the Peter McKinns of the world, right? And you can kind of look at them as inspiration, but to get to where they got, you got to go on your own path and learn
Yeah.
what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah. Agree. And that's what makes that's what makes everyone's work unique is like walking your
Yeah,
own path,
exactly.
you know?
Exactly.
It's what makes your work unique.
And don't worry about the grid. Don't care if it like doesn't like match. It's just
Yeah.
post
Uh,
it, do it for you. It's document, and you're gonna be happy with it because a year later, like 1 year later, yourself is gonna be telling like, "Oh, I'm happy I posted that photo."
of course. Of course.
Right?
I've
Yeah.
never not been happy posting something. Like it's always a
Yeah.
good feeling. Like it's just a
Yeah.
feeling of accomplishment that you did it.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's a small thing, but it's a big thing because it's
Exactly.
kind of like overcoming like all the stuff why you shouldn't. Like I always think it's always easier not to do it. Like it's easier not to do the thing, but once you do the thing and you actually upload it, then it's a huge accomplishment because not everyone does that.
Oh, for sure.
Not everyone follows through with it. They may
Yeah.
do it, but they may not upload it,
No, definitely.
which
Definitely.
is
Yeah.
or whatever the desired outcome is. Like if you're not going to follow through to the end,
Yeah.
then how are you gonna move on to the next thing? You need to like close the loop on the first thing so you can move
Yeah.
on to the next thing.
Yeah.
That's how I work.
Exactly.
I don't like leaving loose ends.
No.
I like finishing and moving on
Yeah.
because I don't
No.
want to think about it.
Yes.
I don't want to have in the
Exactly.
back of my mind going, oh, what am I going to do with that other thing? Why I'm doing something else?
Yeah. Exactly. So
Uh,
yeah, like I said, just I don't know, trust the process, really, and
yeah,
just enjoy it.
yeah. It's just like it's such a like it sounds so basic, but it's just such a thing that people have a hard time sometimes because people are so stressed out with getting an amazing photo.
You'll
Yeah,
get it. Yeah, it just
just
takes
have fun
time.
with it,
Just have
whatever.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting, man.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, thanks for your time. I don't want to take up too much of your time. So, yeah, make sure you go follow Vivek. Vivek's91 on Instagram. More Banff photos coming, I'm sure, or next
I'm
year,
sure
or
this year,
more
next
Toronto
year,
Christmas stuff.
yeah, Toronto Christmas stuff will probably come before, but
Yeah, that's all right. You can
um,
deal with it.
yeah, no, Paul, I appreciate you having me on the show. It
Also
was a
fun.
good,
We'll have you
it's a lot of
back on at
fun.
some other point.
Yeah,
Maybe live from Banff
live from
on top
Banff.
of the mountain.
Might have some shady Wi-Fi, but yeah,
That's all right.
sure.
We'll deal with it. We've done worse. Thanks everyone for watching. If you're watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify or Google Podcasts or wherever this thing is airing, big thanks again to Vivek, and we'll see you I think next week with someone else. We'll figure it out. But yeah, have a great night. Peace.
Cool.